Hi everybody, hope you're fine. In this episode I talk to BGD and 777. Enjoy!
Hi, my name is Bruce Goldsmith. I'm from BGD, Bruce Goldsmith Design, which is my own brand. And I'm British, but the company is Austrian.
Since when does your brand exist?
This year we're in our 10th year, so 10 years of BGD. Before that I was Airwave, and I also worked for Advance, and I also founded Ozone.
What kind of wings do you produce?
Yeah, we're making mainly paragliders. We also do quite a lot of paramotor wings as well. So we have big, heavy trike paramotor wings, as well as normal solo paramotor wings. And we also do kites as well for snow kiting and also for sea kiting. But it's paraglider style inflatable kites rather than leading edge style kites, LEI kites.
Which target group do you have in mind when developing your wings?
Let's think. I think the thing that really sets BGD aside is that we are very, very international. We have people from 20 different countries working for BGD, and our market is really the whole world. So because a lot of brands, especially around the Stubai area, are very German and Alpine orientated, whereas we are very, very international. So we sell as much in South America as Asia, as Eastern Europe, and well, some in Africa, but Africa is not a very big market. But we are very, very international. So these are our customers, and so I develop gliders specifically for these international customers rather than pure Alpine customers, which is what a lot of brands do. Yeah, I mean, we do gliders from beginner gliders through to intermediate and advanced gliders, and which I think every other paraglider brand does as well. And so what really sets us aside is just this international side of things. For instance, we don't emphasize so much the lightweight gliders because in a lot of countries around the world, they're not really interested in lightweight gliders. So lightweight gliders for us is only around 25% of the market.
Okay, important question now. What is your philosophy when it comes to making paragliders?
Yeah, perhaps I should think about that a little bit. I mean, first of all, BGD is very well known for our colours. Of course, we have the most brightly coloured paragliders out there, and we spend a lot of time and effort developing the colours. So we make colour prototypes as well as prototypes for technical reasons, which is quite different. So normally when we're developing a glider, each of the prototypes has also a different colour. I've been designing paragliders for 30 years, and so I've developed a real feel for the gliders. They have to have very good handling, especially, and be very predictable in the way they fly. Because the kind of glider which I don't like is what I call a now you see me, now you don't glider. So it's a glider which is all there and then suddenly goes. So the philosophy we have is that we like to have a glider which is progressive, so that it's if you're going to get a collapse, you should get a small tip collapse rather than the whole glider collapsing at one time. And this is what I call progressive stability. So we have quite a lot of information about progressive stability on our website. And so what it does is it enables the pilot, it encourages the pilot to fly more actively to avoid collapses himself.
How do you classify wings within a certain class? And please give an example.
They're classified by, as well, A, B, C, but also by the complexity of the glider, how many cells it has, and its aspect ratio as well, and price as well also. So normally, the more simple A gliders are cheaper and more accessible, and as you increase the number of cells and increase the complexity of the gliders, then you also increase the price and the skill level of the gliders as well, of the pilots. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have 2 gliders inside EMB, but it also follows this, one has more cells than the other, more aspect ratio, and the way we design the glider so that the higher B requires more pilot skill and the lower B is more simple, more easy and more straightforward with more pitch damping as well. So it's quite easy. Well, we just have 2 Bs, a high B and a low B, and normally the B is the biggest category of paraglider, and that's why we have 2. Well, we also have 2 As as well, so 2 As and 2 Bs and 1 C.
do you also take winching into account?
We do have some countries which winch quite a bit, like Norway, Sweden, Finland, Holland, of course. And but I think that a glider which launches well and comes up nicely doesn't require any special design features for winching. I normally like to just recommend that you don't use too high a toe tension when winching. Normally use a weak link of 100 kilos, which is quite low for many places. But I remember when I used to start winching, in the UK they used to have parascending people, and they used to use like 500 kilo winch tensions and things like this, which was really not great, and that could cause problems of deep stall, for example, with very, very high wing loading. But if you keep the wing loading low, with the absolute maximum of 100 kilos, then no special design requirements are needed for winching. I think the internal structure has got much more sophisticated and stronger and supports the glider better. And so really there's no problem for winching at all. Yeah.
What do you see as an important future development?
At the moment we're really concentrating a lot on computer simulation for the design of the gliders. And this is taking a huge amount of R&D effort, and it's what we're mostly investing in.
Research and development.
Yeah, the research and development and the computer simulation in research and development. I think that development to a large extent between all the brands is almost a computer software competition going on right now. And all the brands have different simulation programs and different concepts in their simulation programs, and I think we'll see a divergence because these programs really have nothing in common. They're not developed together at all. So they're completely independent. Yeah, I think that's good. I think it's really encouraging to have that diversity in the development of the programs. So this will produce different concepts and different ways of designing the gliders, so different characteristics. So I think we should see some very interesting advances because of this.
Any further improvements that we may expect from your company?
I think our target is just to have increasingly safe gliders which are really fun to fly and with a more accessible performance.
Last question. How do you deal with complaints?
I deal with a lot of them personally, actually. How do we deal with the complaints? We answer the customers directly and speak directly with them wherever they are in the world. And we have a huge network of distributors around the world and agents. And normally we deal through the agents in the local countries, but with complaints, they often come directly to me and I speak directly to the customers. Yeah, I would say that 80% of the complaints are correct, but a few of them are wrong, and I just give a good explanation, because I'm writing a lot of articles for Cross Country magazine, and I have them all. Of course, I have my whole history of articles, and normally if their complaint is wrong, then I can just send them an article showing them why they're wrong and give them a solution to this technical problem, Or it's often a problem of piloting, or a problem of interpretation of the materials, or whatever, And so normally I just, for those wrong claims, then I would send them articles to educate the pilot better in the problems that they have. And we had some gliders with porosity problems. I think that one thing that's quite maybe unique to BGD is that we use a lot of different colours on the gliders. Sometimes we have 10 different colours on one glider. And if you have so many different colours, then it means that there's lots of different rolls of cloth being used for each glider. And, there is certain rolls of cloth that can be not as good as other rolls of cloth. And these are the kind of rolls of cloth which can produce porosity problems over time. And we have the advantage that we only have few small patches of any particular cloth. So the whole glider doesn't go porous, we just get a few little patches. So it means that we've never had a glider actually which has actually become dangerous because of low porosity. We only just get a few bad porosity readings, but the gliders actually still fly safely, which is nice. So that's just one example of some safety issues which exist.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much. Nice to speak to you.
That was my chat with BGD. Let's continue with 777.
Hi, my name is Matjaž and I'm from 777 brand. We are coming from Slovenia. And my function is marketing in first place, but everything else as well.
Since when does your brand exist?
Actually, 777 was based in 2011. It's based on our designers, Vallič brothers, who are well known that they were designers before that already for many years for other brands. But in 2011, they decided to build up a brand of their own.
What kind of wings do you produce?
Yeah, our company is actually more focused on the cross-country competition wings. We are oriented more in the performance part of the wings. So whoever is seeking, let's say, whoever is flying 777 wing is going to be a pilot who is going to do longer flights. He's going to do cross-country, or maybe he will be competing and he wants to get the best performance glider for competition.
Okay, let's start. And I think you answered already the first question. Which target group do you have in mind when developing your wings?
Yeah, actually, Vallič brothers, our designers, they are coming from the field of competitions from before. And with their own brand, we had to move also to other categories. So whenever we are doing a new wing, we are always looking to squeeze as much as possible out of the wing in performance-wise, but still, of course, remaining on the side of having the wing also being as safe as possible. Because we are coming from the competition world, that's why also our wings reflect that when you get the wing, you know that in the certain class, this wing is going to be one of the top, if not the top performant one.
What is your philosophy when it comes to making paragliders?
Philosophy is, I'm not the designer, but I can say that I'm spending a lot of time with them, so I can say it's always really trying to find something new. So we say 777 innovative gliders from Vallič brothers, because we don't want to just follow the trends, we want to do also something new, so this also reflects in our wings that you can see that we are trying to push things forward. Let me just say that we were the first company that introduced the shark nose, or we call it back position intake technology, in the B class. This was already in 2011, and also then after that, when everyone said it, the shark nose is not uncertifiable technology, we certified also the A class as the first company worldwide.
How do you classify wings within a certain class?
Yeah, I think it's very hard to say because it depends on the class that we are talking about. Let's say for the A class we have two wings, which one is really basic, it's deck. And the other one is a little bit more developed, I would say. This is Spawn Evo at the moment. And the difference between the two is, of course, one is less technical to make. Easier on the pilot as well. The other one is more technical, a little bit harder maybe on the pilot, but it's bringing also advantage in the performance. I'm talking this about the A class, but I think it reflects the same also, let's say, in the B class or when we go higher. Yes, When we are talking about the B class, I would like to say that it's, the high B class, it's already a wing that you can, I think, 80% of the pilot can squeeze out of it already enough for their knowledge. So they can do a really long cross-country flights with it, because at the moment now we have very high performant wing in the B class already, high B. When we talk about the low B, it's a little bit different. I would like to say that with it's different from company to company. Some companies, they say they just make an A wing which is pushed into the B and they call it the low B. For us, let's say we just released the Knight 2. Is the wing that is, we won't say that it's a wing we will give it to the student, but it's a wing for the student who made the license. He made some hours on the thermic flying, and then he can get this low B to mid B wing, I would say. And this is different philosophy coming to this segment of the wings in the B class.
Do you also take winching into account?
Not exactly, I wouldn't say, because all of our wings until now, they didn't have any speciality for the winching. So we make the wing for the pilot who is going to fly with it cross country, and the winching is just a part of it which needs to work anyhow. But all of the wings are, they need to go through the load test and shock test and everything. So we may say that there are less lines, but those lines are getting better and better. So that's why we are having also less lines. I mean, it's possible to have less lines. But all of the wings, they need to go through the structure test, and they need to be okay also for winching, of course, all the time, yeah.
What do you see as an important future development?
What we can see in the past, now in the last 10 years, of course, there was a lot done on the safety, which is, of course, very welcoming for all the pilots. I think the wings now are much, much safer than they were, let's say, 15 years ago. What is happening now, we can hear about the two-liners coming to the C class. Our position on that is that we will try. Of course, we will also we are performance-oriented brand, so we will also try in this category, of course. We will try and see if it works okay, then we'll release it. If we feel that it doesn't work, of course, we won't. But it's something new coming to the C class, which we might say that some pilots, I think, let's say 80% of the C pilots, they are suitable for flying C class in the three-liner concept. And now with this coming, I'm afraid that some pilots will say, okay, I'm flying the C class, I can fly the two-liner in C class as well. I think it's not the case. The people will really need to consider what's their knowledge and see if they can develop and go into this two-liner area and fly it.
Any further improvements that we may expect from your company?
I think the improvements are, it's an evolution of improvements. All the time we are refining something. In competition world, what we see now, it's the improvements are really small. We are mostly working now on the safety part and on the handling part. But the performance improvement are not making such a big, because it's physically looking at the wing, there's not a lot more you can do with it, or it's getting too costly that it would survive actually the paragliding market. But of course, never say never, because the evolution is bringing new ideas all the time. And also for us, you can see that when we make one wing, even in the B class, let's say, we learn from it, from this profile, we learn something new, and then we implement this on the other classes as well. And this is development that it's happening all the time. And we can see through the years that all the time we are gaining something.
Last question. How do you deal with complaints?
How do we deal with complaints? In our office, we really put a lot of focus on that we are in contact with the customer. So when we get something, let's say a complaint from someone, we try to act as soon as possible, give the answer as soon as possible, and if necessary, also get the material back and check it and do whatever it takes to get the pilot back in the air as soon as possible on the wing, that it's done as it needs to be done. I think it's just a matter of that the company needs to be reactive when it comes to this and check the material, because the problem is that the production of the wings these days, they are so good and the quality is so high that such mistakes happen, I don't know, it's 0.000 something percent. But mostly when happens something, you need to get the material, see what happened, and then discuss with the customer what was going on, and especially explain to him if something was happening that he was not aware of that and he did something, let's say with the takeoff. You do reserve launch, if you are not careful with the lines, we said before the lines are getting fewer but stronger, so you can rip them on the takeoff and something you don't even notice that. And these kind of things are happening all the time, but it's important for the brand to communicate them with the customer, and in the end also solve them with him. Oh, I think so far the people turn directly to us. So we were always, I mean, for us it's not a problem. We take this as a part of the job. If someone has a good friend who is a dealer as well, he will speak to him first. But otherwise, sometimes they come directly, and we do a lot of effort in that way that we communicate that as in the best way possible and as soon as possible, and solving this problem as soon as possible for the customer. Because this is a part of having a pilot who is satisfied with the wing in the air, but he needs to be satisfied also with the customer service, which I think we put a lot of effort in.
In the next Paragliding Chat, you will hear other manufacturers. Don't forget to subscribe to Paragliding Chat, then the next episode will automatically appear in your favorite podcast app. Till next time, safe landings, bye!